Hello everybody, Ewan Spence here again, and the second part of my video diary from the Edinburgh Fringe and the Nokia N97. So here we are again, a couple of days in after a busy weekend at Edinburgh. N97 being the main port of call for internet access and organising, scheduling, and also calling people up and checking that they're coming around for the interviews I do for my audio podcast. So I said I was going to look at the media capture options, which means the camera is up for view in this video diary. But before that, just a little chat about the interactions that I've had with the device and what I think of it. I'm actually really enjoying it. Two things I want to pop up first of all, and pop up first of all would be the keyboard. I really like the key. I'm starting to really like the keyboard. I was worried it was going to be a lot like something like the N800 or the N810 is the one with the keyboard. My apologies. Yeah, it's just there's very little travel in the keys, but there is a definite I've pressed the key down feeling. You just need just a light touch on it. You don't need to hammer down these keys. It's almost silky. It actually needs about the same amount of pressure on the keys as it does on the screen. And whether that is by chance or whether I just have no sensitivity at all in this finger because I once held it up to an iron when I was 7, it feels about the same, and that's nice because they're very close together, and the difference between tapping here and tapping here isn't that much. There's on-screen cues, there's keyboard cues. The thing that's getting me about the keyboard is the fact that everything gets automatically shifted. So you put a period in and you put a space in, and then the next character will be capitalized. And when pressing the shift key automatically, going period, space, shift. Oh, why is there no capital letter? Backspace. So I need to find a way to turn that off, to be honest. The other thing that's getting me is the delete key. Especially doing numbers, I'm having problems putting IOP because my brain expects the P to be at the very, very end, and it isn't. The delete key is at the very, very end. The P is one in. Now, these are what I would call transitory issues. As I use the N97, and as people who have it use the N97, they get a bit of muscle control, familiarity with the keyboard, and the brain will remember that's the delete key. Move over one, and you won't have to consciously think about it. At the moment, I'm still consciously thinking about it, but this is a surprise. This is actually, I should have one down here. This, one of these days I'm going to duck down here and pull out Wraith. That's going to really scare everybody. Here we have. There we go. The N810. I was worried the keyboard was going to be like this. I think I'm quite happy to say that it's not. Yes, it is a bit smaller, but loving the keyboard. Now, touchscreen. Slightly different. I know everybody says it's meant to be finger control and you can use your finger on it, and I know also a lot of you are joking that I can use my nail on it as well. But to be honest, I'm still finding myself with a stylus. Not the stylus that gets picked up by Nokia and the tub. I am using, go on, have a guess. I'm using an old Scion stylus, probably because I have a stack of them this big. And none of them are to hand at the moment for me to demonstrate. Why? I have it really. It still feels like a stylus control environment, even though I can use my finger. The one problem that I have is I have to switch from using a fingernail on this, and then when I switch back to an iPod, listen to some music or check podcasts and stuff, why aren't you using the N97, you heretic? Well, you have to check with everything, because that's what you're meant to do. You program something, you check in every environment it can be. Well, then I can't use my fingernail back there. So I'm sitting here, tapping here, going, oh, not working with my finger. Use fingernail. And then I switch to the iPhone, and I go, oh, fingernail's not working. Switch to tab of fingers. So that is probably just because I'm an awkward sod that carries more than one phone around. But it does need a stylus. I'm sorry, there's too many fiddly bits, there's too many small options, there's too many highlighting, that it needs stylus. Simple as that. And I just wish that they had put a holder around the casing somewhere like they have in the 5800 that would hold the stylus, rather than me having to find one in my pocket, put it down on my desk, and have it getting lost. Anyway, on to what I was going to talk about today, which was media, and specifically the camera. Now, I've not done much video, in fact, I've not done any video recording on the N97 at all. Whenever you pull out one of these in a show to do any sort of videoing at the Edinburgh Fringe, the union guys from back to just basically go, no, because they're just paranoid that people are going to, I don't know, half-inch somebody's comedy act jokes, forgetting the fact that everybody can remember them. There you go. The camera itself has a shutter like the original N95 and the N86, as I recall. Pull it down and you get your camera immediately coming to the foreground. Pulling down that camera lens actually means that you have the key lock taken off and you immediately jump back into the camera. If it's not on, it gets opened up. So it's down, there, and bang, you can take a picture. Perfect. What's really weird is when you exit the camera application, it forgets if you put the flash status off. And that's when I'm taking pictures in performances, or at least I was at the press launches. It's like I have to, just because it kept closing down, and I think it was one of the memory issues. I'm just paranoid at closing applications. I know I meant to leave them switched on. Old habits die hard. So whenever I brought the camera up again, I had to remember to put the flash off. It remembers it if you put it to the background, naturally. It would be nice if those settings were remembered when it was exited and brought back out again. It shouldn't really be that difficult, to be honest. The other issue that I had with the camera was because this had been around the All About Symbian team, it had a dirty lens on it. The pictures I had taken, well, have a look at this. I was convinced that the camera was getting a little flash from the plastic on the edge and reflecting into the picture. So I'm going back to Steve and Rafe. I was like, Guy, I'm getting reflection of the flash. And both of them, long-term users of the N97, you need to clean it. And I have, and that problem has pretty much solved itself. A couple of people have asked about does the lens cover card scratches? Well, I can actually visibly see a scratch or two on this lens, and this phone's been in use for a good 8 or 9 weeks, I would think. Around about that. But is it affecting the picture quality? I don't see it, to be honest. I don't see big lines like I'm looking at an old 1930s black and white movie. I just see good, clean, sharp pictures when things like the lighting conditions are right, when I hold the phone steady, the sort of things that you're meant to do when you take a picture on a camera. So, yes, there is obviously an issue because there are scratches on the lens. Is it affecting the quality? To be honest, I don't see it. And so in my mind, it's a trivial issue. It is an issue, but it's a trivial one. It doesn't affect the working of the camera in real life. That's what happens. Look back at the lenses of stuff like on my old N95, and it's just a mess, but the pictures are still clear and sharp. So there we go. Now, what to do with the images afterwards? Well, you could put it up through OV-Share, and you can put it up through Picasa and various other things. Well, I have 2 ways that I handle photos. The first one is I pack them all up to my PC, and I copy them all into Nokia's Lifelog. Not Nokia Photos, or not the Nokia Photo Manager that you have on the PC, which you can download now, because I got some issues that it doesn't allow me to multiple tag. I can't choose 3 images and just add Edinburgh Fringe to the tags and all. Have to go into each one. Can't do mass renaming. Comfortable with Liveblog, and yes, the old Liveblog settings and information can import in the new one, but I don't like the new one. So I stay with the old one. It's a long archive, completely comfortable with it, and it handles all my stuff, not just the stuff coming off Nokia phones. I have a temporary directory on my PC, copy them in, put it out again. And when I'm sending up pictures to Flickr, it's from Liveblog. I'll highlight them in Liveblog, send up to Flickr. So there's only one set of pictures going up to Flickr from one place, so I know that everything's only uploaded once. While I've been out and around in Edinburgh, though, I have been taking pictures and sending them up to Twitter. And most people on Twitter who are following me are actually enjoying this. Different views of Edinburgh, nighttime shots, shots of the gala, shots of performers in the Royal Mile. And how I'm using that is Gravity, which is the Twitter client for the N97. Talked about this before with the 5800 and also the E75 as well. It's a gorgeous little application. But what it does allow me to do is take a picture, press a button, and send it out to all the people who are following me on Twitter. And ergo, my social circle can see the pictures that I'm doing straight away, and they get a little alert to do it as well. That functionality is absolutely wonderful for a media creation device like the N97, and I have to say that my first couple of days with the N97, especially taking pictures and using it as a sort of basic reporting tool for visual stuff, it's one of the best N-series devices I've used in a long time. I'd even go so far to say, and I say N-series, I mean I include the E75 in that as well. What is it like though with things like mail, with link messaging, internet connectivity, web browser access, and such. Like, I've hinted at that online stuff there with Gravity. But on Friday's video diary, we're going to look at that in more detail. Look at those other parts of the internet. What is the N97 like when it pulls in information? And it's information specific to me to display it so I can work with it. Where can I get the press releases? What time are shows on? Can I book tickets online with the N97 through all the ticket websites for the Fringe? We'll find that out and talk about it on Friday. But until then, thank you for watching.